This is the iPhone XS. This is the XS Max for size comparison. The one on the right is a 6.5-inch screen, and the iPhone XS is the same 5.8-inch screen as last year's iPhone X. If you want a smaller iPhone, this is your only choice of the latest crop of iPhones. The iPhone XS and XS Max are almost identical with features except for screen size and battery. It's a dual 12-megapixel camera setup on the back with optical image stabilization. There's faster Face ID. The edge-to-edge design with the notch at the top is the same. And we think the size in general is more comfortable to hold than the Max. Of course, if you want a bigger screen than this, then the Max is your best bet. It's an OLED screen, and you can use the same gesture navigation system to move around iOS. It's the same gesture navigation that Apple introduced on the iPhone X. It's powered by the A12 Bionic processor. One of the best ways to see this processor's improvements in speed and functionality is with Blades. It's a new game from Bethesda Studios coming this fall. If you take a look at the level of detail in this game, it's quite impressive. And perhaps more impressive is the fluidity and how smooth the movement is and those camera pans. And you can see that atmospheric vibe that you get just walking around this little room. It really does look impressive, even more so in real life instead of looking through a camera screen. But yeah, it looks fantastic, and this is still scratching the surface of what the A12 Bionic can offer. There's a neural engine that can process up to 5 trillion operations per second, so we haven't even come close to seeing its true potential. Here's another demo of the power from the A12 Bionic. This is an ARKit 2.0 game called Elementao. You can see how it overlaid this great looking world around me, and the graphics look great, but what's most important is how responsive and smooth it looks. There's not a lot of jitters. It's just sort of responding really well as I pan the camera around the real world. And this is sort of why we're really excited to see where the A12 Bionic processor can take us. The A12 also helps improve the camera, and there are a couple new features with the iPhone XS and the camera. Portrait mode is better than ever before, and there's also a new feature called depth control. So this slider at the bottom lets you adjust the level of blur behind the subject after you take a portrait mode photo. That gives you a little more customizability to share exactly what you want. So you can either remove the blur completely, make it less intense, or just go all the way and make it as blurry as possible for that desired effect. It's pretty neat. There's also Smart HDR, which is another new feature with the new iPhones. So this is a really good example of Smart HDR in action with this photo. Traditional cameras would either overexpose the sun in the background or underexpose the foreground. Apple's Smart HDR essentially takes a lot of photos and combines them with the best from each. That allows you to get a well-balanced photo in high contrast scenarios. You can see just how sharp this photo is too. Just look at the level of detail on the water, and the colors on the photo look great. Of course, this is a demo photo, so we'll have to take our own to see how it fares, especially with the really high competition with Android phones. So that's the iPhone XS. It's the smaller phone of the 3 announced. Apple said the battery life should last 30 minutes more than the iPhone X, so just about a full day, I assume. It costs $1,000 for the base storage model, and there are 2 other storage options you can get, including a 512 gigabyte storage model. Pre-order starts September 14th, and sales kick off on September 21st.